So, back in 2021 when we were on the Dempster, we were getting water into here. And we couldn't figure out why all of this was getting wet. I checked the seals on the door. Everything seemed to be fine. The door was sitting good. Couldn't figure out why we were getting water in here. Put towels in there, soaked up the water pretty good. Didn't get on the floor too bad and stuff. But I was trying to figure out what it was. So after a few days, I actually stopped and took the time to look at the situation much more closely. And you see this right here. This was full of mud. This part. As you can see, there's some dirt in there from our trip still this year going up the Dalton Highway. I've cleaned this out I think 3 or 4 times on the trip on the Dalton and the Steese and Old Denali Highway, getting mud and stuff in there. I have found the key works the best to get it out, and when it's wet I use a towel with the key and you're able to get the mud out of there. After I figured that out, we have never had water in the door again. When you go through here and you really get it cleaned out and you look, there's little tiny drain holes in the corner and the water drains out of there. If it doesn't, then it seeps in, and we'll go over. So that's what that was. Just a really good little, I think it's a hint that hopefully it helps you, because it baffled me for a couple of days till I took a really hard look at it. And again, I just use a key, and then when it's like this, you blow in there and you blow the dirt out. So saying all that, one of the other things that we use, and I was just thinking about it, just instead of blowing it out, is we carry this little Black & Decker vacuum with us, and when it's dusty like that, it's real easy just to pop that off and clean it out. No problem, all cleaned out. And that works really good, of course, when it's dry. So something we learned with the Fiamma awning, and this is probably for any roll top awning. I mean, obviously, if you know it's going to snow that night, you probably don't want to leave the awning out, unless you're just going to get a dusting, or at least that's what we thought. And something to remember that we learned, we do carry a brush. We were able to get the little bit of dusting of snow off, no problem. But what does happen is you also get, like, when it frosts, like, it doesn't snow, but it is a frosty night and it frosts. Well, you get frost on the top of the awning and you're able to brush a lot of it off, but you can't get it all off. And that is one of the things to be aware of with the Fiamma, because it rolls. So when I went to roll it, it didn't close up all the way. Because it had that frost layer in there, which made it a little thicker. So it took a little bit of work to unroll it and get as much as the frost off as you possibly could before I was able to get it to roll up and close good enough so we could drive down the road. It probably took me another 15 or 20 minutes, but it's something to consider. Even if you're not going to get any snow, but it's going to be below freezing and you're going to get a frost, you're going to have to really make a concerted effort to get that cleaned off, because when it rolls up, it expands and it won't close all the way.